In the old days when golfers did this kind of thing and they were applauded for it, they would say things like, "Don't tell me I'm a hero, I only did what I was supposed to do." And I suppose if you asked Davis, he'd probably say the same thing. I did what I was supposed to do. I think it has to do with the nature of what do you think the purpose of your sport is. In golf, it's a rule-bound tradition activity, and they play the game by those rules in the tradition. Whereas in most other sports, it's about gamesmanship. And gamesmanship is getting an advantage. For example, you get advantage in your training, you get advantage in your strategies, and then you get advantage on the field. You might even try to get advantage off the field in how you tend your football field. So gaining advantage is the key in other competitive sports. Whereas in golf, it's not about gaining advantage. It's about developing skill and following the rules. If you are responsible for calling your own fouls, and that's the tradition and expectation, then you will pay attention. In this example, this young man wasn't even sure he saw what he saw. He said he saw it out of the corner of his eye. And he was inspired to try to find out if he really did it or not. If we asked that same sort of question of a football player, they would just laugh and say, "That's not my job, it's the referee's job." And that's that gamesmanship thing again, because not only do we play against others, we play against the referee. I think it would work, but it would be such a transition that it would be a lot of bumps and bruises along the way, because we'd have to educate our coaches, we'd have to educate our athletes, we'd have to educate our referees, we'd have to educate people who make the rules. And I think it would be possible, but it'd be very difficult and very painful along the way. Well, the argument always is that when you're playing a full contact sport that you aren't aware of what you're really doing. I don't know that that's necessarily true. We really should have body awareness. We really should know where our arms and legs and feet and rackets or whatever are. And so the argument is that because it's a contact sport and it's so fast and you can't really know what you're doing, then therefore you need a referee there to call the violations. I think that's not a very thought out answer. I believe that if we're really doing motor skills the way we should do, I think people can know where they are and what they're doing in their violations. I think it's too easy to say we can't do it. I think the game would benefit. I think the game would be very different, and I think the athletes would be different in the sense that they would understand the tradition and importance of who they are as they play the game against other people.